So I want to show you this blog post that I generated in MindStudio. And so basically we got an image and a whole bunch of things are going on. I'll show you in a second, but this is what this blog post basically looks like. We got a heading. We have a description for the image as well. And we have subheadings, an introduction with a kind of a hook. As you can see, they're subdivided into different types of H2s and H3s. And towards the end, you'll see a call to action. So let's look at how we actually built this in MindStudio. All right, so we're here at the dashboard, and as you can see, there's a lot that's going on here. What we've actually done is taken the entire process of generating a blog post and divide that into pieces. And every one of these blocks does different things, and they all going to come together at the end to generate the blog post. And we're going to see in a second what that looks like. So the first thing is, I want to make this user-friendly in the sense that you can write about anything that you want. But you can see here, started off with looking at the word count, the topic that we want to talk about, talking points. So one of the very important things is sometimes you bring in your perspective on a particular topic, and this is where you're going to put in some talking points that you want to bring in. A call to action to put in at the end of the blog post, a particular tone, whether it's going to be informative, friendly, whatever you want, and some negative keywords, which is quite important. So for instance, let's say you're talking about AI, but you want to talk about AI agents, not machine learning, for instance. You don't want those particular keywords there because you don't want to rank for those particular keywords. So this is where negative keywords are going to be very important. So you're going to put some of those in there. And then also target audience, who you're targeting, very important in the blog. You don't want to make it too generic. You want to really talk to a particular audience. And if you have a particular content that you want to upload, this is where this is important. This can be information that supports what you want to talk about, that you want to use in your blog, anything that you want. In most cases, you don't necessarily need to, as you will see in a second. So the next block is where we're actually going to generate a prompt to create our image for the blog post. And so we're going to feed in the topic that we're going to be writing the blog about. And if you did have an uploaded content, you're going to put that here, and this is going to generate your blog, your prompt for you. We're going to take that prompt, and in the next step, we're going to feed it into an image generating model. We're using Gemini 2.5 Flash, and we're also going to supplement it with another prompt, which is going to look at the layout of how that image is going to be is made. So the first prompt is about what the image is about, and the second one is how that image is going to look. Okay, and sort of you can say the style of that image. So at this point, we got our image, and what we're going to do now is we're going to create a short sentence caption of the blog. So you can use this when you upload your blog and on your website. You can actually use this caption there as well. It'll help with your ranking as well. So you can add that in, and the next step is we're going to do some research on the internet to find some latest information about what we're going to talk about. Before we do that, though, we're going to do a search query, and we're going to generate a search query for us to be able to do that search query. So this is what this block does. It generates our search query based on the topic that we're going to be writing about. And we're going to feed that search query into a search Perplexity blog, which is basically using Perplexity to do a Google search. And that's very important, especially with Perplexity being very good at internet research. It's in the model that has internet connection. So you want to make sure that you get the latest information for this blog post in there as well. Then we're going to hold that off. We're going to search it store it into a search result variable. So the next step is where we need to generate some keywords. So here we're using just regular keywords, but also long tail, short tail, LSI keywords. Okay, and we're going to store that in the blog keywords variable. We're going to use that later again. And then the next step is generate headings. So we've had our we have our blog keywords, we have our target audience, and we have our search results that we got from the Perplexity search that we did earlier. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use this to tell the model, but with some prompt, to generate a set of headings so that we can determine the best topics to write about and write headings to have with the right keywords in it as well. Okay. And the next one is then we're going to take these headings along with the keywords and we're going to create a really good outline for this blog. And this is what this particular blog does. And it goes into really detail in terms of how the orchestration of how the layout's going to look like, what's going to be the start, the middle, the end, where the hook is going to be. All that stuff is what we built into this blog. And finally, we're going to take all of that, the layout, we got the headings, the keywords, the call to action, talking point, all that stuff, and work out everything we just did and bring it all together in this blog post generator. And this is what this particular blog is doing. We're giving it some content writing rules, all kinds of things, and making sure that it is following the Google's 8 guidelines as well. And so once all that's done is we can get that blog post that I just showed you earlier. And then here's the image and the blog post. And so let's take a look at what that looks like again. So here's our blog post. And you can see this is our image that we generated. Okay. And we're actually, the content that I provided was writing about, Power AI agents with structured data. Okay. And this is our caption that we generated. And as you can see, this is our H1 and these are our headings that we have here. Okay. And this is based on research that was done to make sure that we have the optimal headings, the right keywords, and also at the end, you have this subscribed to our newsletter. This is the call to action that we had earlier.